Hello, introverts and extroverts. It's been over a year since I started posting on this channel, and geez, has a lot happened since then. So I figured why not go through a summary of the last year, then answer some questions that you lovely folks have. This past year has been an absolute roller coaster, and I'm sure it's not just me who had this experience. Last year, at around this time, Yandere dev was exposed for being a predator, and I wish more people were talking about it nowadays since it seems like no legal action has been taken against him. He still posts regularly on his blog and is still working on his game. The only progress of note that has been added since my video was the second rival, and about damn time considering it's been 10, 11-ish years. But at least you're about 1/5 of the way there to completing your game, Yandere dev. If you even manage to get there. If you don't know why I'm pissy towards Yandere dev, you can always watch this video I made a year ago. The video was originally made to be posted on TikTok, which is why the formatting is off from the content I make now. I started posting on YouTube because people on TikTok were saying that I should post one long video here instead of 6 parts on there. But back to the topic at hand. A short while after that, I had gotten into a breakup, and then I quickly got into another relationship and then got dumped again. I got more and more into debt since I had to pay college out of pocket since my tuition loan was rejected when I already couldn't afford to pay my own rent. I failed animation college, and, I made the complete unprepared decision to quit animation after 3 years to switch to illustration. And with that last-minute decision, I only had 1 month to make a portfolio. I got into worse mental health and worse debt, but then I got the 2 most amazing partners that a struggling artist could ever ask for. They picked me up, dusted me off, and are helping me feel better about myself. And with their support, I was able to focus more on content creation here on YouTube. Then my grandmother passed away, in which they supported me through as well, and I posted a video that reached 500,000 views, which is insane for a fresh YouTube channel. And because of that, I got monetized, so I'm able to do what I love without worrying that I'll lose my apartment. I'm able to manage posting while attending college well enough, I think. And I've now become an art and gaming YouTuber, which those are 2 things that I've always loved doing. Now, to answer some frequent comments that I've been seeing across most of my videos, and returning a lovely guest that I'm sure you've all been missing. Oh my goodness, are you a lesbian? Are you trans? You must be bisexual! Nothing is wrong with those sexualities and gender identities, but they're just not mine, so I'll make it clear here and now so that you guys know that I am a cisgender woman and I am pansexual. There's not a lot of pansexual representation out there, so I just end up being my own pansexual representation in my everyday life. So don't take that away from me. I had known that I was pan for a very, very long time, and I understand if some of you didn't know that, because I try not to let it define everything about me or my channel, but it's still, something important about my identity, and you shouldn't just assume other people's sexuality or gender identity just based on who they're with or what they sound like. Should I even bother pointing out that the triangles behind me are in the pan colors? And continuing on with that... Oh my goodness! You have 2 partners? What does that even mean? Well, I am currently in a polyamorous relationship. Now, poly relationships look different for every relationship, but for our relationship, it looks like this. Let me draw a quick diagram. I am with Aqua and Atlas, and they are dating each other, and Aqua has another partner that she's been with longer than the 2 of us. And I told my partners that if I were to join the relationship, that the relationship would need to be closed off afterwards, since I don't want to end up competing for love. I still have strong monogamous values, and if something were to happen, which I hope not, I wouldn't ever be polyamorous again. I'm with Atlas and Aqua because I love them as individuals, not because I need two people to be happy, you know? I'm perfectly content being monogamous again if, you know, my relationship were to end with them. Which, like I said, I desperately hope not. They make me extremely happy. It's been quite interesting being in my first healthy relationship and my first poly relationship. I'm still getting used to it. I'm not used to being loved inside and out, and it's strange. I fucking hell. I have more questions. Alright, sure, go ahead. Enough of the sappy, lovey-dovey gay shit. Are you gonna make a part 2 to your scammer video? Sock. I want to so damn badly. But I think the word got around because no more actual scammers want to talk to me anymore. All I get are viewers pretending to be scammers in order to talk to me, which is shitty as all hell, by the way. I am talking to these scammers because not only is it fun for me, but because I am spreading awareness for young artists to know what to look out for, and if I keep getting these fake scammers, I won't be able to make a new video because it isn't authentic. Hell, most of the time I think these fake scammers are real commissioners, since they are shit at pretending to be scammers, which is surprising. So I think that they're genuine customers, but it turns out that they have no intentions of ordering a commission and they just want to talk to me or trick their way into a video. And I will say that right now, that is absolutely not cool and absolutely inappropriate. You're taking away education and entertaining content away from young artists. Not only are you wasting my time, but you're wasting theirs as well. And if you do this, shame on you. And another thing, I get a lot of DMs daily. And if you've been following me since forever, you'd know that when my account on Instagram was only at 3K followers like 4 years ago, I established a boundary with my audience that I only answer DMs for commissions or important inquiries. And it feels like people are trying to cross the line of that boundary by lying to me. Please remember that doing commissions is one of my primary sources of income. Doing that is wasting my time that I could be spending on someone who actually wants to order a commission from me. And I'd hate to pull a Yandere dev, but quite literally, if I answered every single DM I've ever gotten, I would never have a chance to look away from my phone. Which is why I established that boundary in the first place 4 years ago. Speaking of my scammer video, another type of comment I got was people telling me that the prices for my commissions in that video were too expensive. Well, joke's on you people, because I made up those prices on the spot. Mostly because it's to prove that they don't look at my actual commission sheet, which is pinned on the places where they message me on. And sometimes I even send my commission sheet directly to them just to show that they don't care about what I do when I, make up a price that's quadruple what I have listed. These are my current prices. They might change in the future. Like, yes, these can get up to like $300, $400, but that's if you ask for a lot of work to be done. But also my prices are in Canadian, so yeah, it's gonna look expensive because the economy here is fucked. And I'm already paying myself the current minimum wage, which is why my prices change like once a year. I couldn't go lower even if I wanted to. So usually I'd get anywhere from 17 to 130-ish Canadian dollars base price for a commission. So I'd say a random high number to a scammer just to prove that these scammers don't even glance at my real prices. Also, why do you care that I'm telling a scammer they have to pay $750 for a single drawing of a dog? The scammer's not gonna pay it. The scammer's trying to get that money out of me, which is why they say okay to it. The scammer doesn't fucking care. I could have said it was $5 and they'd still try to scam me. I just say a number that's really high up because I can just hear the ka-ching noises in the scammer's eyes whenever I type that out to them. Alright, moving on to an actual Q&A where I have people asking me actual questions on YouTube and on Discord. Jeez, I need to stop sounding so pissed off. I got really fucking heated with my voice acting. Is there anyone specific that inspired you to do content creation? No. I'm not gonna make that obvious joke because it isn't true despite the fact that we look alike. However, the real answer is, well, myself. Hear me out. So little me looked up to gaming YouTubers. They made me feel less alone, and I looked up to a lot of artists as well, but I didn't get nearly as attached to them as I did for people like your Jacksepticeye's and your Multipliers and your gaming grumps. So kid me wanted to do that, but for art, I wanted people to look up at and be inspired by me. And I mean, whose dream isn't it to be famous when you're a little kid, even if you're as shy as I am? If she could see that I kinda did it, that I'm finally making money off of something that I spent years building up this community of like-minded individuals, people who like me and like my work, 12-year-old me would definitely be proud, even if I didn't turn out to be exactly like she imagined. When I was younger, I was always worried about growing up, that I wouldn't be myself anymore. I just wish that I could tell her that she didn't have to worry about that, and that things would be okay, that I ended up choosing art, the thing that she fought so hard for her parents to accept that this is what she wanted to do, that I wanted to do, and that this is what we're good at. So in a way, that inner child is me. I'm my own motivation, my own inspiration, and I hope that you guys can be your own inspiration too. And if you can't, I hope that I'm a decent substitute, because I believe that you can work hard and accomplish what you can do in time, just like I did. Is there another person in your old high school friend group that was as equally as bad as Chloe and Abel? Now that I'm thinking about it, actually, yes. But I think I can actually do a whole part 2 of my classmates were insane, so, that'll be made eventually. Maybe even the next video. I won't make any promises, though. What scares you with all your new popularity, love? My boyfriend asked me this. Anyway, genuinely what scares me the most is worrying about being doxxed, that my face ends up being found out, that my identity is discovered and broadcasted. It's horrifying. I worry that if people see what I look like, it could either go two ways. That I lose all my following, that all this work that I've made to make this career is just gone based on what I look like in real life, or that that's the same thing, but people get so upset that they find out where I live and harm me in some way. And I hate thinking like that. Like, it's something that's just going to be inevitable, that one day it'll be a reality, and that's scary. And probably adds to my agoraphobia. So, let's change the subject. Question about the pig video. Did you get any form of compensation from the company to try and keep your mouth shut, or did they just not care about your workplace injury that could have potentially gotten them sued? I remember that I got paid for the week that I was off to recover, but they tried to avoid paying for it by saying I was at fault for the accident, but I fought for it. Jess! Cartoonist! Intro! Whatever the fuck I'm supposed to call you! Why didn't you sue them? Jesus, it's you again. You see, Sock, I don't like being a burden. That means the obvious answers, like asking for help or holding people accountable for shit, is very difficult for me. What are your favorite Pokémon? As you can clearly see, I pick my Pokémon based on looks. What? I like cute things. What did you think? I was gonna pick, like, Lopunny? Gardevoir? Vaporeon? Don't point this out in the comments. What is your favorite drawing of yours? This, right here. I made this about 4 years ago. It might not be as good as what I can do now in terms of backgrounds and lighting and what have you, but I'm still kind of proud of it. It's based on one of the stories I hope I'm able to share one day. but I'm always worried that it won't be well received or that it just isn't good enough yet, so I don't tell anyone about it. I'd rather just release it and talk about it when it's ready. What is the weirdest real art request that you've had? Okay, so skip to the next chapter if you don't want to hear about edishes, but like put an F in front of that. You've been warned. Children, please fucking skip to the next chapter. When I was 12, I had a little art account where I posted all my little cringy Sonic OCs, you know, preteen stuff. And I was doing art requests for free. And I had like less than 100 followers on that account that time, so I only had like 2 to 3 requests. So I felt required to do all of them, and one of them I thought was a bit strange, actually really strange. It was someone asking me to draw Sonic the Hedgehog tickling one of my OCs who was in a swimsuit. Specifically, he said a bikini, so I drew it even though I thought it was weird because I was 12 and didn't realize that I was being tricked into drawing Edish art. When I got older and realized it, I deleted it and swore to myself that I wouldn't be tricked into drawing Edish work ever again. Like, there's a difference between, telling the artist that you want this kind of work done, and then the artist is able to accept or decline it once they're, educated on what you want, and, tricking the artists into doing it. Especially when that artist is a minor and it's easier to trick them into drawing that, which is awful, just absolutely fucking awful. In your opinion, what would be the best tip to give to a beginner artist? I know this advice is overdone, but literally practice, and I mean that. If you're bad at drawing something, practice it. If you hate drawing it, practice it. If you love drawing it, draw it more. Do gestures, backgrounds, hands, eggs, shadings, skulls, anything to understand how to draw what you want to draw better. All the artwork I just showed you is stuff that I've made, and including a lot of stuff that I fucking hated drawing, but I practice it because I want to get better at it. And a common thing I've noticed with a lot of beginner artists that they struggle with is just understanding that everything has a 3D form, and you're trying to project that into a 2D format. So you've got to rewire your brain by practicing on how to convey that in your work. How tall are you? I'm 5'8", so like a little bit above average compared to other women. I think like the average height here for women is like 5'4", 5'5". So yeah, I'm 5'8". What inspired you in creating your avatar? Is it mostly based on your appearance, or was there any external inspiration? I'd say like 85% of it is based on my own appearance. I just made her so much fucking prettier, and I removed everything that makes me flawed. Cartoonist is what I wish I was, and it makes me feel better about myself in a way. What is the best movie ever? Well, one of my personal favorite movies is Howl's Moving Castle, but really any Studio Ghibli film is so pretty. They have such a beautiful art style and smooth, exaggerated animation that I could just watch for fucking hours. Man, I wish I had the talent to animate like that, but I was told I didn't have the skills for it. What is something that you hate to draw, especially consistently? One of the more common things I have to draw that I dislike drawing is hands. But it's not that I like hate it, it's just complicated. So I force myself to draw it constantly because in art, what the viewer looks at the most, whether the viewer notices it or not, is the eyes and hands. So making sure that you know how to draw those is especially important. You went into art/animation college, right? If so, what did you learn? What was the experience like? Was it worth the money? I'm mostly wanting as much information and advice as possible. I'm asking because I plan to do the same, but society has always made me question the value of it. I want to be a storyboard artist or at least a 2D animator. I really don't want to scare you out of it, but animation college, unfortunately, just wasn't for me. I'd only recommend it if you have, like, absolute dedication towards it. If not, you'll be absolutely screwed in the long run. I loved doing animation in the beginning, but my adoration for it quickly died as the burnout set in. But I've seen my past classmates soar to great heights already. So I'd say it's worth it if that's what you really want to do. I, however, am much happier getting my degree in illustration. But society needs more animators, and I'm sad that I don't have the skills to continue on with it. I'd recommend you guys support Anim Workers Ignited on TikTok, as they are fighting for animators to keep animated shows that we love going. This isn't a sponsor, by the way, but I think they just need more support to stop AI from entering our animated shows. And also, like, Alex Hirsch does, like, voice acting on the channel, so, like, you guys should definitely watch it. Anyways, are you a music person, you know, listening to music constantly, it being your go-to for harder days and stuff? And what is your favorite song/artist? I love your content, by the way. You're going to get 100K in no time, I'm sure of it. First of all, thank you. But my taste in music is a bit odd to most people, I think. I usually listen to video game soundtracks while I draw, either that or Jack Stober, a little bit of lo-fi, weirdcore, dreamcore, internetcore, whatever you call it, and that's about it. How do you come up with the designs for your side characters? They all look really good and eye-catching no matter what little or big role they play. I feel flattered, really, because designing characters is what I'd like to do for a living. All my designs essentially come from my head, but typically the way I go about planning their designs is deciding, what is this character like? What is their role? Are they shy, smart, outgoing, grumpy? Does their job play a role in what they look like? What do they like? What do they hate? What's their financial situation? What is their body type? And are they confident in their body? Does the world they live in affect how they dress? Just asking small questions like that as you're drawing can immensely improve your designs. Like, you wouldn't have a character in medieval times wearing a hoodie, but you could give them a cloak that can give them a similar silhouette. And that's all for today. Holy moly, is this a long video that I've made just now. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you love what I do and have some money to spare, you can donate to my Ko-Fi or become a YouTube member. If not, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting will help me more than you'll ever understand. Feel free to send me fan art. I always love seeing what you all make. I know I say that a lot, but I mean it. And I know I tend to repeat myself a lot in my videos sometimes, it's a bad habit, but I worry if someone new comes along, I'd like them to have some idea of who I am and how my channel works. But with that, that is the end of the video, so have a good day and stay tuned for more.